our first card here is the Blasted Oak. The Blasted Oak is, it's kind of a clearing. It's changing. It's an upheaval of so many different things. It's kind of, in some cases, it's that we have sawed off the branch of the tree that we were standing on. In other cases, it's that a bolt of lightning comes out of the blue to reset for us. Sometimes when we're being too stubborn to make the change that's necessary for our personal growth, for the best interests of ourselves and those around us, for our personal healing, for us to learn life's lessons, karmic lessons and otherwise, life is going to hit the reset button for us. And that's all just part of this journey. The positive note is the Blasted Oak. This is the Tower in other decks that may be apparent to some of you. Something positive always comes from this. It's sort of like if you're staying at a job that's a dead-end job, you're not going anywhere, it's not helping your personal or professional development. This can be, you get fired or there's a pressure and you wind up leaving that job. Life is trying to help you get on your path. Sometimes we don't see it. If we're made uncomfortable by a lesson, we don't necessarily see the value in that lesson right away. But just like messages of pain, if you experience physical pain, it's your body telling you that there's something that needs to be changed. If your feet hurt, it's time to take off those uncomfortable shoes. It's warning us about things before they get even worse than they could be. So there's a lot of value in that. And let's be honest, don't we tend to remember the lessons that are the most painful? The ones that result in embarrassment, shame, self-blame, things like that. But if we rise above those lessons, if we learn those lessons, we don't have to make the same mistake twice. And we don't have to beat ourselves up for having made any kind of mistake in the first place. Now, that's not to say that this card implies or means or entails or requires that you yourself are responsible. It could simply be that you're in a company that's dysfunctional. It could be that you're in a relationship that's dysfunctional, not through any fault of your own, but because you gave someone the benefit of the doubt, or maybe that was not in your best interest to do that, but you didn't have the facts at the time to be able to make the decision that was in your ultimate best interest. It's one of these scenarios. But let's look at these other cards and see, what's the overall takeaway that we can get from this. Excuse me. Now, we see here the 8 of Stones. This was the jumper that we had. This is a skill card. This is about you've been hard at work, diligently doing what it is that you need to do. You've been doing it in a skillful way. You're good at what you do. Where your talents are, when you put your talents to work, you do a great job and provide a valuable service or product for others to enjoy. You've been in that place. You've been in that place of putting your skills out there, right? Stones is earth. So this is about, I want to say making your coin, but, we've got bills to pay. It's not that you're a greedy person because you work hard. No, a lot of us get a sense of, we get a sense of meaning in what we do. We love and enjoy what we do. Maybe not every aspect of our job, of course, but we do have bills and all the rest as well. And 10 of Wands speaks to this issue, bills and all the rest. Responsibility. This is about taking your passions and pointing them towards something that you need to take care of. And the fire over here, the bonfire, is reminiscent of the hearth fire of a more, I want to say brick and mortar home. We see a teepee over here. Either way, this is about home energy, and a lot of the work that we do, a lot of the hard work that you're doing to manifest this because you want to take care of your home and your family life. So this is about you taking responsibility for that. The 10, though, does indicate the end of a cycle that's coming on. So the beauty of that is, excuse me, I'm having all kinds of sinus issues. Anyway, the 10 has to do with the completion of some kind of a cycle. So it may be that soon you're able to let down your burdens of responsibility. At least ease up on your load somewhat. One of the other signs, responsibility, came up, and I think it was Sagittarius. And I was really getting this feeling like, you guys need to learn how to delegate to other people, and not take everything onto your own shoulders yourself, because your back is hurting over here. And remember, too, that when you do delegate a responsibility to someone else, you're giving them a sense of pride and belonging, too, because they're able to shine as well. You don't have to be the one to put all of the Thanksgiving meal together if you celebrate that. Delegate it out to somebody else. Let the kids feel proud of their mashed potatoes or whatever the case may be. This reunion card has a lot to do with people from the past coming back into your life. Now, sometimes this can indicate a soulmate, either someone from a past life that you're rejoining with in the soon-to-be future. But it's an influence that is coming into play. It's not in question, per se. This ball's already been set into motion. It just may not be on your side of the net yet. But with reunion, this is about, if you look at this is a sacred symbol of a womb. We have symbolic ovaries here. We have the birth canal. This is about a rebirth as well. So this could be about meeting up with somebody from your past, maybe your literal past, maybe again, from a past life, but this person coming into view for you. Very happy, this reunion. This is kind of the dawning of a new day in this energy. And cups is very much about water. That's emotion, that's spirit. So this is spiritual fulfillment and so on. Now, that's not to say that if it's maybe an axe or something that's going to be a good thing. Be very careful that you pre-screen carefully. Look for signs of personal growth in anybody who's from your literal past coming in. But I'm feeling like for a lot of people, if you have met this person before, you did not have a relationship with him or her. That this was somebody that you got to know, maybe you had some kind of chemistry or attraction with, but you had never been together as a couple. Again, take it as it resonates. It may be different for every person. I would expect it to be somewhat different for every person, but there's a commonality of energy that we experience because we're all subject to the earth and its pull, its wax, its wane of the moon, the ebb and flow of the tides, etc. So we can find ourselves in a lot of these energies in common. Now, part of this card here, the strength, this is the Leo card right here, strength. The sun card is also tied in with the Leo. And we see certainly the sun imagery in the back over here. We also saw the rising sun back there in the Six of Cups reunion card. Excuse me, this, I'm not sure, honestly, if that's a bobcat or a lynx. They look a lot alike. The lynx is larger and more Canadian, and the bobcat can be found deeper in the south, like in the mountains of New Mexico and other places. We have here a mountain lion, sometimes called a puma. That's a Floridian animal. But anyway, we're seeing a lot of different sun symbols in here. While this is more of a nocturnal wildcat, the mountain lion is more diurnal or daytime, the mountain lion. Or it could be a female African lion. Take it as it resonates for you. But this has to do with strength of spirit. Strength of character. Lions typically don't go out and just assault anything just for cause. When they hunt, it's, they bring down a weak animal, something that is wounded, something that is sick or unhealthy, maybe a young gazelle, someone like that. We see similar imagery here with the eagle in the background, a golden eagle, which is also a symbol of solar energies. So this ties in with that sun, and sun, of course, being very joyful energy. It's masculine energy. It is life force energy as well. This is about you being in your element. When you are manifesting your soul purpose the way you do when you are working, this is about you being in the fullest sense of your majesty. Again, internal strength, not simply physical. There is a weapon here with a spearhead. Excuse me, a spear with a spearhead. At the top, So there is that sense of a physical strength as well. But this card, we're not looking at Arnold Schwarzenegger arms over here. We're looking at, I'm sorry, I don't know any of the modern ones or the contemporary people. But we're not looking at big bulging biceps. We're looking at an ordinary person who uses their brains as much, if not more so, than their brawn. This here, we look at this 8 and we think about the figure 8, this symbol that goes on and on ad infinitum, to infinity. It's the same kind of concept that when you are tapping into your work, that is a lot of your life purpose, and your skill comes from you manifesting, and you coming into your power has to do with you manifesting your life purpose energy and tying back into that. And that's about your soul through many, 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 many journeys. So again, all of this is really saying you're coming from an amazing place right now, in spite of this blasted oak, which can be such a scary card to see. All of these are super duper positive for you. Because of some kind of a radical clearing of things from the past, you're able to really take the time and get into that place where you are thriving and shining and spark of life. This is a fire sign, just like you are, Leo. Ace of Wands has to do with a new beginning of taking something that you're passionate about and manifesting it into a physical reality, like a new job, a new career, a new thing that you want to do, finding a new passion and making it happen. Now, if this reunion card indicates the returning of someone into your life or someone from a past life who's coming in, a soulmate connection, this can indicate passion, attraction, romance, and otherwise. For those of you who may be in a committed relationship or simply not interested or not really feeling the relationship vibe from this is about you identifying what it is that gives you that sense of purpose, this workplace behavior, right? This life force, and finding a passion within that. This is kind of the idea that it's not just a job for you. It's something that really gives you a sense of fulfillment and a sense of understanding who you are and why you are inhabiting your particular place in time at this point in time. Now, to kind of look again at this reunion energy and so on, this Knight of Cups water sign could be somebody possibly younger than you are, not necessarily. But this sense of a salmon is about returning to the waters of your birth. Returning to the waters of your birth. And check this out, right? Excuse me. Don't these look the same? We've got this dome. We've got the dawn coming up here over the dome, the water that's flowing through, the salmon returning to the waters of one's birth. Golly, I'm so sick of this sinus issue, but I don't want to complain here. Very, very similar. Now, this is a lone figure, but we do see the bowl that's got the picture of the image on it. But this is about something real being manifested. Somebody's making an offer or about to make an offer of something tangible that's coming in. And the Knight is fast-moving energy in this cups, especially with this. Salmon return to the waters of the birth to spawn. Right? They're swimming their whole lives downstream. But then come late summer, around the time of Leo, like late July into the first half of August and so on, they begin swimming up the stream in order to return to the spot where they were hatched from eggs. And that's where they fertilize eggs or lay eggs, depending whether it's a male or a female salmon, right? So they return to the waters of their birth to spawn. This is about returning to a place where you felt happy and connected, someplace where you felt safe as in childhood. These otters are unbelievably playful animals. I don't know if you've ever seen a documentary with otters in them, but they are amazing, right? And let's not forget salmon has connection with bear, which has to do with cycles of the year, life cycles. The Alaskan I want to say Zodiac, but it's Kodiak bear. The grizzly bears of Alaska have a very deep connection with the salmon. It's unbelievable how all of this ties in, and you're a part of this magnificent cycle. This person coming in from your past is home to you. They feel like home. If this If this is a romance for you, this is somebody who's going to come in and feel like home. And if this is not in that same way, this could be about going home, right? Going home to your family and enjoying your holiday with that person. But I'm really feeling that for some of you, this is about, you're going to find somebody, like a romantic connection with somebody that feels like home. Even if you're meeting them for the first time in this lifetime, they will feel like home to you. And if you've met them before in this lifetime, I don't think it was somebody from your past, but I do think that this person is someone who is, you're going to have that kind of deja vu feeling, like, I feel like I've met you before. There's a very old jazz song. It's called, what is it called? It's Where or When or When or Where, something like that. A whole bunch of different artists do it. And I recently heard a more contemporary version of that song, but it's unbelievably beautiful. It's this idea that these two people who are falling in love meet for the first time, but it feels like they met each other at another point in time, but I can't remember where or when. And the song says something like that. Like there's a line from it. It's a really, really beautiful song. At any rate, this world tree, this is something that ties back to our blasted oak. The world tree is about the completion of a cycle, but it's a very well-grounded, well-rooted, energized tree. When I do a meditation to connect with energy, to connect with spirit, to connect with source for these readings, I do a meditation that involves, it's a tree meditation, to put it simply. And it's about receiving downloads from source, even while grounding and connecting to my roots. Very powerful. We see this is a tree that's been in part destroyed, although there's not enough showing for us to tell whether or not this oak will come back or not. This blasted oak, you see the 4 different cycles. So again, that ties back in with the cycle that we're seeing in the salmon of the Knight of Cups. It ties back in with the cycle that we're seeing with the 6 of Cups and this idea of a reunion, of a coming back together again. The blasted oak is a part of the cycle that you've been going through in the last year. And it may not be a literal year, but just some major chapter of the book of your life has closed. And this is a celebration of that you're moving on to the next great levels. That there's a lot of nutrients, a lot of support in this tree, in this world tree here. This world tree is going to produce fruit or nuts. It's going to produce shelter, a place to live. It's going to produce branches for your fire. It's going to produce leaves and foliage and, I'm thinking Garden of Eden type clothing, whatever. But it's going to be able to provide you all the materials and the things that you need for success in your upcoming year. This is a beautiful card to have in your reading. King of Stones. Now, stones being Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn energy, but not necessarily so. Horse is about travel, communication. You think the Pony Express was an old-fashioned form of communication on horseback. The mail, Horse is about, it's that idea of travel, but I'm thinking also of modernity, like tribal societies, like I'm thinking Native American societies, for example, in the U.S. and Canada. Their lives changed forever when the Spaniards brought horses to the continent. And they were famous for their horse skills. Like they were able to take a new thing and really adapt it to the nth degree. This is the same kind of an energy. Like the King of Stones is somebody that can take a new thing. They can make a new discovery and manifest it to the benefit of everyone to the nth degree. This is about material success, stability. Look at those rock solid legs, all 4 solid legs. It's that stable, 4 corners to make a house building, right? Even though the horse is standing there, horses are intelligent. They're social animals. King of Stones is going to be very, very stable energy. Does not necessarily have to be a male for you. You know, for some of you, it's same sex or it's opposite sex or whatever. But this is more about somebody that operates in that way. King of Stones is going to be somebody who's got a home already, an apartment or a house. It's going to be somebody who's got a good job. Maybe they're a manager. Maybe they own their own business, whatever that is. You know, this is going to be somebody that is going to take care of their material stuff. This could have to do with the reunion. For some of you, it could be what you've been trying to do yourself. You've been trying to become increasingly stable, and that's why you've been working this hard. You've had a lot of responsibilities on your plate, and you're trying to take advantage of that and give it a go. Even as you're doing your day-to-day grind and becoming increasingly grounded in doing your day-to-day grind, you're also able to find what it is that you really want to do in that. It's like it's not enough to feel passionate about your house and home if you forget to sit down and write out the check once a month to pay the rent or the mortgage, you know, or to put it on auto pay or whatever the case may be. You're not going to have the stability in that. So this is kind of where the drudgery of the day-to-day reality meets the ideas and the passions of the things that we actually want to do once we get the busy work done. This is kind of the heart of your matter, is finding that spark of life, that thing that motivates you, that really gets you going. You're kind of coming out of a rough time, though. This Blasted Oak was not laughs and giggles. I mean, there were some tears shed. There was some pain and some discomfort in all of that. No lie. And yet you're moving very, very far beyond that. I'm looking too at this. We've got the seer energy coming in here as well. The seer is about intuition. Oops, sorry, I'll try to get that where you can see it. The seer is about intuition. Owl is about seeing into the night. Good sight, good vision, good hearing. Owl's wisdom. We also have a horse here. Movement and travel. Understanding the way the world works. This is the High Priestess in other decks. And the reason I brought these three out together was because for many of you, you're not just taking care of responsibilities and taking care of business in that grind kind of way. You're feeling really, really excited about that because by getting your busy work done, you're able to manifest the things that you really, really enjoy doing. And your intuition is taking off as well. You're able to spot what it is that you want, what it is that you don't want, and to come from a better place of understanding of self. You're learning these lessons and you're letting go of a lot of that. Yes, there's a great deal of responsibility on your shoulders, but it's not something that has to be exceptionally burdensome for you. You're able to leave behind something that was no longer benefiting you, close that chapter, and be able to move into a position of stability with your insight guiding you in the direction you need to go for your personal journey. And then if we want to back up a little bit and talk some more about these energies here, because these are your future cards. So we have Six of Cups in that reunion sense, right, which we've already talked about, and the Knight of Cups. But the seer energy also brings into this idea that you're going to recognize this person for being who they are or what they are going to be to you. Now, you may meet 100 people, but you'll be able to understand and pinpoint the one person that this reunion card and this Knight of Cups are about. And trust your intuition with that. But go as slowly or as quickly as you need to be able to ensure that you're working to your own best interests. And I really don't question that you will. Because again, this seer here, this High Priestess, this could be the person that's coming in. Perhaps it's a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, King of Stones person, maybe not. The High Priestess is associated with the Moon card, and the Moon is associated with either Cancer or Pisces, so it could be one of those individuals. Could be, a water sign with some earth sign in her chart, his chart, or vice versa. So we're seeing water signs, we're seeing earth signs. Of course, you got the passionate fire going on. So there's really a lot of different energies. It could be really any sign that's coming in for you. So take it as it resonates. I don't really get too hung up on signs because sometimes it can be hard to guess a person's sign, like when you meet them, because they may, their rising sign may be so different from what their sun sign is and from their moon sign and, all the rest of that. And it can be hard to tell on that level. So just go with what resonates and,